What is up, soul family? This one's going to be a little bit different. I'm actually going to be doing a mediumship reading. So, the way that I conduct my mediumship readings are a little bit different than what other people do. I use tarot. For me, I use tarot to kind of channel and get an idea of the energies that I'm connecting to. And most times, you guys have an idea of who I'm talking about. So I'm gonna start out. I don't know who's gonna come through. It could be one spirit. It could be many. I'm gonna try my best to just limit it to one being per reading. The way that I'm going to do it is I'm going to tap into their personality, who they were, maybe some of the things that they went through, and usually the combination of those things give you a very specific idea of who that is. And then from there, I'll give you a specific message. And maybe this is for a collective, maybe this is for different people. Reality is very weird sometimes where we can have overlapping, like there can be multiple energies trying to come through at the same time, but in a way that multiple people can understand. So I wouldn't discredit this or the ability for this to resonate with multiple people, even if this might be somebody that you have specifically in your mind. Spirits are very flexible in the way that they tend to give information and the way that they are able to connect to us. So maybe this resonates, maybe it doesn't. If not, then this simply isn't for you. But that being said, let's jump right in. And I feel like already this person's like all older. I feel like it's, and I know it's kind of cliche, but I feel like it's a grandparent or something. And I say that because like I was drawn to like pick from the Mystic Medley deck. So maybe it's somebody who was like into art cartoons or had like a little bit more of like an upbeat kind of like quirky personality. Somebody who kind of like liked those old school things or had that kind of like energy. And from there, I think they're also somebody who they maybe had to like, it could be two things. Maybe they had to balance a lot on their shoulders, and they were known to have to like deal with and have like a lot going on. And I don't think like everybody does. I mean, some people chill, some people don't. Some people don't got a pot to piss in. But I think whoever that was, they had like a lot of different things that they were balancing and dealing with like through their life. Like they're really good at kind of like balancing or handling multiple tasks at once. And then with the Justice card, again, there's another energy of balance. So maybe this person's had a very balanced personality. Maybe they weren't like too much in any area. They're kind of like a jack of all trades, master of none kind of energy. Or maybe it's the energy of somebody who was very fair with how they approach things. So maybe there was somebody who had a lot on their plate, but even with all the things that they had on their plate, they're still very good at maintaining everything. They're really still good at kind of approaching or dealing with people in a very healthy way. It could be that even though they had like a lot of stress, it could be that even though they had like a lot going on, they were still able to rationally deal with individuals in a way that wasn't like unfair or unkind or too obscure. Or maybe they had like a large family and they were still able to, from that perspective, still show everybody love equally, even though it was like a bigger family. I'm gonna pull a couple more. I just trusting whoever this is, you'll get this message. Or whoever these people are will receive the message. Or maybe it's nobody. Maybe I'm talking to myself. Sometimes that's what mediumship is like. I'm just trusting an energy that's coming through. But based on the fact that it's 7:44 on the dot, I don't think so. Okay, cool. So whoever this was is like a very happy-go-lucky person. They were always like, I feel like they're very sincere, very kind of like almost youthful, and very like down to go on an adventure, down to kind of like just do things, or at least intentionally try and do things that will put them in a good mood. You know what I mean? Like maybe they're, it's like they're stuck at home. They're going to go ahead and bake something. Then they're going to go ahead and watch a movie, put some popcorn on. Some people are very good at being able to create a really fun and exciting atmosphere where they are, or even going out to fulfill and do those things. So maybe there's somebody who, even though they had to balance and deal with a lot, they weren't somebody who were like depressed. And a lot of I don't think that's a negative thing. Some people succumb and some people have the heavy burden, but some people, they experience this life with nothing but joy and happiness, even through the burdens that they have and the struggles that they have. So I'd like to think that whoever this person is was very sweet, very charming, very sincere, and always down to kind of like follow their heart almost and enjoy the things that they were experiencing. And then the Three of Wands fell out, so I definitely think that, yeah, they are the kind of person to like going on adventures. They're the kind of person to like actually being able to do things and be kind of like out and about versus kind of like being restricted. Some people are homebodies, and some people like to just be out and just do things. So maybe they're always just active and out and about, and we're always glad to be able to do such. I'll pull one more and then the end of the So I think as well with the Knight of Cups and then the Seven of Cups. Sorry, it's kind of like down there, the Knight of Cups. But the Seven of Cups and Knight of Cups, I definitely think there's somebody who are very imaginative, very creative, and maybe with this deck too. Maybe they were like an artist of some sort. Maybe there's somebody who was very just they're really good at drawing. Maybe they had like lots of weird knickknacks. Maybe they're a very eccentric person, and they kind of like march to the beat of their own drum, but in a very fun and uplifting way. Um, I think that whoever they were very like sometimes I think we are limited by our imagination and our ability to think of solutions. And with this card, I'd like to think that there is somebody who were always able to find a way out of like whatever problems they were because they are just very imaginative. They are very good at just fixing this, fixing that. Like, oh, this happened. Well, why don't we do this? And it's like that could work. You know, it's like whenever they would come up like with a resolution, people would be like, that makes no sense. But it would happen, and they would do it, and it would work, and people would be like, okay, like I feel like that's the kind of energy that I'm getting from them. I feel like they're somebody who just had out of the box solutions to things that just happened to work for one reason or the other. And then on the bottom of the deck, yeah, I feel like whoever this person is, whoever's coming through is very like, they're a very upbeat energy. They're very lively. So whoever this person is, they are if they are lively on this side, they are 10 times as lively on the other side, and they are still going and roaring. And like, I feel like somebody who's just like ready to tackle life, like somebody who's just really, really just ready for it. Like, I don't know how else to explain it. I feel like really, really fiery, but not like in a very like ferocious energy, like not in a ferocious way, right? But in a very like ready to go kind of way. So it makes sense. I feel like whenever it's like like whenever the main character is like whenever there's like a zany main character or like a character who has like Toon Force or a character who has like the ability to like warp reality or something. It's like where cartoons will walk, they'll see like a window, they'll turn that window into like some weird like doorway or like a portal or something. It's like that's the kind of like person I see. They're kind of like, I don't care what's going on. I'm the kind of person who's gonna mold things to my liking basically as I walk. Like they didn't have like any fears. It feels like you almost saw like things just work out for them again and again in very odd ways, or they just managed to make things work out for them in the most unconventional ways. Is kind of like the energy I'm getting from this person. So I think that's the end of that one. If this made sense to anybody, I'm actually genuinely curious to know. Again, sometimes I could just be talking to the ethers, right? But I'm just trusting, like, when a message comes through, that it's meant for somebody or people, and whoever it's meant for, it will find. But, peace and blessings, and I hope you guys have a great day.